Dallas hair salon owner Shelley Luther has refused to close her doors amidst the stay-at-home orders in the state. Many Texans stood behind her for reopening. Now she's been sentenced to 7 days in jail after a court hearing yesterday for violating orders to close her salon. She defended herself in court, saying that she needs to feed her children.
I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish, because feeding my kids is not selfish. I have hairstylists that are going hungry because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids getting fed, then please go ahead with your decision, but I am not going to shut the salon.
And I think salons are allowed to open this Friday. So it's not like that. It was that far away. Here to weigh in is the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure you're aware of that story. Can you shed some light on what's going on there and whether you support that decision by the judge?
I know we do not support it. As a matter of fact, we just sent a letter to the judge a little while ago, basically saying that the judge had abused his discretion in sending this woman to jail who literally was just trying to make a living. And especially in light of the fact that the governor is allowing hair salons and haircut places and nail salons to open up on Friday, it's a little bit over the top to put a woman in jail who's just trying to take care of her family, especially in a county where if you shoplift, the DA there has said that as long as it's just $750 at a particular time, we won't prosecute you.
Wow. So, Mr. Paxton, you sent the letter. Could anything happen to the judge? Could there be any ramifications for his choice?
They can always be, those can always be appealed to a higher court. So the Court of Appeals, if that woman decides and her lawyers decide that they want to appeal the decision, they certainly have that right. And my guess is that they should and would. I certainly, if I were advising her, I'd advise her to appeal it.
Who is his boss? Excuse my ignorance on how this works, but if you could explain. I mean, most of us have bosses. I know I do. Who does he report to? He's an elected official, right?
Yeah, so it's sort of two answers. One is the answer that you just gave, which is that judge is elected by the citizens of Dallas County that vote. And then his boss could also be the Court of Appeals in Dallas, that if there's an appeal, they would have the opportunity to overrule that decision.
Mr. Paxton, describe to me what you started hearing from folks once this story surfaced. Were you getting calls? Were people reaching out to you? Was there an outcry?
I think there certainly was. I think people were shocked to see just like one of their neighbors who merely wants to work suddenly became somebody that was in prison. I mean, obviously not a long period in confinement, but a little bit over the top for somebody that's literally just trying to make a living and feed her family.
And his name, I understand it, Eric Moyer, is that correct? That's
correct.
And when is he up again? I don't know, not that you're supposed to know this, but when is his re-election up?
We have different terms for different judges, so I'm not exactly sure when his cycle comes up. I actually haven't looked at that. I don't vote in Dallas County. I vote in the county north of that, so I don't typically pay attention to judicial races in other counties. There's thousands of them. Can
people appeal for his removal from office?
I don't know if there's a remedy. You certainly can file a complaint with the Judicial Conduct Commission if you feel like he's abused his discretion in a significant way. So
Do you feel he has?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way that I think this is the right decision. I understand that Dallas County has their rules about this, but this is somebody who's trying to make a living, who's trying to take care of their family. There's no way that she should have been put in jail, especially when the governor's about to open these things up in less than, it's a day away.
Right. Now, Mr. Paxton, we don't have a whole lot more time, and we know that there are a lot of hurting business owners right now, but can you give us just a quick update on how reopening is going on in Texas, how it's going so far?
It's slow, but sure. I was at a couple of restaurants over the last couple of days, and we have limitations on the occupancy at 25%. So I'm certainly doing my part getting out. I'm enjoying just, seeing these business owners at least have the opportunity to get started. and hopefully that'll progress in a fast, expeditious way so that they can actually make a profit.
Well, good luck to you, sir. We wish you the best of luck in Texas. I've lived there. My wife's from there. Go there all the time, so I'm always rooting for the state. Ken Paxton, thank you very much, sir.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.